Thank you, First Minister. First Minister, you're confident you can have a legal referendum. You're very confident that you can win that referendum, and you want Scotland to become a member again of the European Union. That inevitably will mean, won't it, that there will be a hard border across this island in the south of Scotland, between the south of Scotland and the north of England. There just has to be, because that will be the EU border, and won't that have very significant and potentially damaging implications for the south of Scotland?
I indicated in my opening remarks that one of the papers we will publish in this series will be on European Union membership. We will also, maybe the same paper, maybe two separate ones, on trade, and as part of that, of course, we will confront the implications of Brexit, which of course is not something the Scottish Government has chosen, but does, you're right to say, present different challenges around these issues. And of course, we're in, I shouldn't say we here, because it is the UK Government, is in a deep mess over the Northern Ireland Protocol, with lots of very damaging implications, because it has never levelled with people in Northern Ireland or indeed the rest of the UK about the implications. Now, I think it's important to say, and I'm sure I've said this to you before, that we're not dealing here with issues about the movement of people, the common travel area. I don't think there is anybody, certainly nobody with any credibility, who would argue that Scotland would not remain within the common travel area. But the issues in terms of regulatory and customs issues around goods, we've got to work out how that operates in a way that would fulfil the requirements that would be on us in terms of European Union membership. And remember the big advantages and benefits of European Union single market membership, a marketplace 7-8 times the size of the UK, enormous potential to grow our trade and to grow our exports. We need to set out how we would deal with that in a way that isn't damaging to the south of Scotland and isn't damaging to businesses. I believe, again, and I will no doubt make this point on many occasions, not just today, but throughout this debate, much of the mess the UK Government is in is because of a lack of being honest with people and a lack of doing any planning for this. And because they're not prepared to be honest about the challenges that they need to overcome, in a sense, they're not able to do that planning, because that then says what the problems are. That's the mistake we've got to ensure that we don't replicate. So I'm not going to shy away from any of these issues. I think the benefits of Scotland being independent far outweigh any of these challenges, but how we overcome the challenges is important, and we have a duty to set that out clearly, and the future work in this series will do that. Kieran Jenkins.
You say you want to be honest about these challenges, you want to be frank with people, you want to be in the EU. Do you therefore agree with just about every reputable expert who say that there will be checks on goods going from England and Wales to Scotland, and there will be a trade border between England and Scotland? Will there be a border, First Minister?
I would encourage you to listen back to the answer I've just given to Peter. I am not going to repeat the mistakes of Boris Johnson and pretend that implications of the decisions we take don't exist. If we are in the single market and the rest of the UK is outside the single market, then yes, there are issues in terms of regulatory and customs requirements that need to be met. What I'm saying is not that these challenges don't exist, but these challenges can be managed in a way that doesn't present disadvantages to our businesses. And of course, what the benefits of that situation are is the ability to trade freely within a market that is 7-8 times bigger than the UK.
But in the spirit of that honesty, you would presumably say that Brexiteers try to wish away this problem. Will you be frank with the Scottish people and say there will be a trade border?
I think I've said very clearly there will be customs and regulatory issues on trade if we are in the single market. I think the benefits of being in the single market outweigh the challenges there. But what I'm saying to you very frankly is we need to set out how those challenges will be met. Now, you know, in a sense, and this is, as I said earlier on, this is the absurdity, or one of the many absurdities of the UK Government position in the Northern Ireland Protocol. Right now, the Northern Ireland Protocol, which is allowing Northern Ireland effectively to trade within the single market while continuing to trade across the rest of the UK, has enormous benefits, because it has, and we can see that the Northern Irish economy is doing better than any other part of the UK. So there are, and actually some of the suggested revisions and amendments put forward by the EU to the protocol actually make sense in terms of easing that. So this is not about shying away from these issues. It's about saying these issues are not insurmountable if you come about them in the right way.
You have shied away from the word border and the word checks.
I've perhaps shied away of giving you an easy headline, but people who are listening, people who
the
are...
reality of the situation occurred in just about every elected election.
I think everybody listening will hear what I'm saying. And what I think is important is that people do, and actually this is what happened in 2014, which maybe not everybody, but most people in here who covered the referendum will recall. People were able to understand the complexities, the nuances, to get beyond the headlines and to understand the real implications of what we're doing. And that is the spirit in which we will continue to take forward this debate. Patrick, do you want to add?
I do think we also need to recognise the democratic imperative in this debate. Let's remember that Scotland was told in the run-up to the 2014 referendum that the way to protect our place in the European Union was to vote no. Now that hasn't happened. That promise has been broken, and it would be unreasonable, wildly unreasonable, I think, for that situation itself to be used as the argument for saying that Scotland and the people of Scotland are no longer able to make this choice, and that the government of Scotland is no longer able to put that choice to them.